مساء الخير. I hope you are enjoying the summit so far. My name is Nael Osman. I'm the Service Delivery Manager from FORTE Cloud. I will be talking today about how we as FORTE Cloud can help you with your migration journey to AWS. So I will start. Sorry. Okay. I will start by giving a quick overview on our technical team capabilities. So we have a 30+ certified AWS engineer distributed across 7 different specialized teams. We have the DevOps teams, which focuses on doing all migration practices and best practices, as well as focusing on the app modernization. We have also the SAP Basis team, which offers a unique value of giving you an end-to-end solutions when it comes to migrating and running your workloads on AWS. So you don't have to look for an SAP Basis part. We can offer you end-to-end when it comes to migrating your SAP workloads. We have also machine learning and data analytics and IoT teams, which focuses on the different solutions we have on top of AWS services. We have also the SecOps team, which focuses on all security aspects, regardless of the type of your workload. So we take this seriously to make sure that you are following the best practices in general, making sure your workload is secure. And also we have the managed services team, which focuses on running and all the administration and operating tasks that you need after you successfully migrate to AWS. So Abdurrahman mentioned earlier the list of Abdurrahman mentioned earlier the list of programs that we are part of with AWS that we are proud of, but I'll be focusing now on 3 main programs, which we see very essential to make sure that we are doing the migration not only from our own perspective, but also following best practices from AWS team. So we have the SAP competency, which makes sure that we are following best practices, as I said, from AWS, as well as Amazon EC2 for Windows Server. So you can look at this, that we have the 2 main workloads. We have the needed certifications from the team. We have the needed accreditation from AWS team to make sure that we are doing this in the right way and you are getting the best of AWS. We have also the well-architected program, which I see is a very important program to make sure that regardless of your workload, whatever you have on the cloud, you have it with the right structure, with the right practices to make sure that we are covering all the 6 pillars that were mentioned earlier about the well-architected program. So we make sure that you are getting the best out of AWS, you are using the right resources, you are having the most financial optimization, you are not using more than you need or less than you need, you are following the best practices from AWS, as I said, also based on our experience in our migration project so far. So how we can help you as FORTE Cloud doing the migration? So we have 3 main phases: the assess and plan, migrate, and optimization. So in the assess phase, we start with building a case together for change. So we understand, focus more on the current state, future state analysis to make sure that we understand clearly what you are looking for, the current pain points, how things are running currently, to focus more on the as-is to make sure that we understand it very well in order to have a smooth transition to AWS. Part of this will be doing different assessments. So we do cost of assessments, we do TCO reports using different AWS tools and third-party tools. So you can understand clearly the current cost, how much are you paying currently on your on-prem data center or workload, and how you will get much more saving on AWS. We also do a series of workshops to assess your team readiness for the cloud adoption and migration. So as a result of this, you can identify the gaps that we have or you have in your team that we can help you bridge these gaps to make sure that you are ready to do the migration to AWS. Also, one of the things that we do during the assess phase is to do one of the main challenges we usually face when we are doing migration is the current licensing, how you can use your license on AWS, how you can move this, and we have different tools, and Hashim will be discussing this in more details in a minute. So as a result of the assess phase, we come up with different assessment reports that identify a set of gaps that we take this and start iterating this more in the plan phase or the migrate phase, which basically focuses on more deep dive on the findings that we had from the assess phase. So we do much more technical deep discovery to understand the interdependencies between your servers and between your workload to make sure that even if this is not, we're not talking here about only the things that we are moving, but also your current on-prem systems that will not be migrated to understand the interdependencies between those systems. We also start to focus more on having a clear plan for how we are going to do migration. So in this phase as well, we focus on deciding the right approach to do the migration, whether we are just lifting and shifting everything and moving it to AWS, or we are changing things, choosing another platform or another service from AWS, like, for example, moving your database to AWS RDS or Aurora. So we're basically moving everything as is, but just focusing on changing how you are using your database on AWS. Also in this phase, we might need to do a POC as a proof of concept for the solution technical feasibility, or even discover the surroundings about the migration, like your bandwidths for how we are going to do the data sync between on-prem to AWS. Also to understand your business needs from a downtime perspective. What are the things that are critical that you cannot afford to have a long downtime for this? And as a result of all of these activities, we come up with a detailed plan for understanding which server we're migrating and what is the migration approach for each server and how we are doing this. So as this is an outcome from the mobilize phase or the plan phase, we go to the migrate and modernize optimization phase. And in this phase, following the plan that came out from the mobilize phase, we start taking or doing the actual migration in waves. So we're not doing the whole migration for the old servers in one shot. We're doing it according to the plan that we both, as a technical consultant and you as a business customer, discussed with this together and agreed on this is how we are going to do the migration. And it's important to acknowledge and realize that the migration is just only the start. So it's important to keep an eye always for how to do operation and optimization, for your workload, because there is always something new that we can enhance and iterate on this more and more. And actually the main benefit of doing this when you are on AWS, that you are having the right tools set up already on AWS, which make it very easy to do further optimization as needed. So this basically an overview for how we are doing the migration. So after the migration, our job does not end with having you on AWS or helping you to be on AWS. One of the main things that differentiate our services is to offer the managed services, which basically focuses on different points, infrastructure management, operating system administration, as well as having a focus on security and firewall management. So we take care of all of these activities, giving you an end-to-end solution or management offering for all your workload, as well as the SAP basis, as I mentioned earlier. So I will hand over to Hashim to give you more details about the different tools that you can use from AWS side.